Searchers. I am Indigo Kelly with Soul Searching with IndigoKelly.com. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make your own sage bundle for cleansing your space. I started growing my sage and other herbs on my patio probably back in March. I did not grow these from seeds, any of this stuff. I actually purchased it like garden ready, so it came in the little black plastic containers. There's already a small plant, and I took those and planted those in planters on my patio. You don't really have to have a whole lot of space. I live in an apartment and I have a really small patio. I just bought the planters that hang kind of like on the railing of your apartment patio for my herbs. Okay, so the herbs that I planted on my patio were, I did sage. Now this is just like kind of like culinary sage, not necessarily white sage, it's just culinary sage. Then this is lavender. I have a little mint. I also have some rosemary, and then some lemon, I forgot, lemon something. I'll put it below in the comments. I forgot what the name of it was. So, but it smells like lemon if you rub it together. Oh, it smells like lemon. That's my favorite one, the lemon. Okay. So I'm not, when I make my sage bundle, I'm going to use sage, but I'm also going to incorporate all of these different herbs to make it smell good and just kind of try it out and see how it works, okay? Now, what I learned right away when I decided that I was going to make my own sage bundle from my plants was that you have to use the sage and all of the herbs, you have to bundle them when they're still soft. So my first mistake was I had gone and cut a bunch of leaves off of my sage plant, and then I took them all together and I hung them to dry in the closet. But if you can hear, they're really brittle, and so when I try to bundle those up, they're more or less gonna just crack and break everywhere. So you want to make sure that your sage is still semi-fresh. I clipped these off of my sage plants last night, so they're still really nice and soft. All right, so the supplies you're gonna need are obviously your herbs, a pair of scissors. This is what I cut my plants with. And then some kind of twine to wind up your bundle. Now, I have heard it said that cotton twine is the best thing to use. This is just what I had at home, so that's what I'm gonna use today. This is actually just a hemp twine that I had been using for jewelry making before. So whatever you have at home as far as string goes. The other thing that I had that I was thinking about possibly using was just the yarn, or it's not yarn, it's the string that the girls, that my daughters use to make like friendship bracelets. Like if you had a white string like that, that might work, but I'm gonna try out this hemp today first and see, you know, how that works, okay? So I am going to take, you have your leaf and you have your stem, right? So I want all of them to be in the bundle together, the stem and the leaf and everything. And I want them to kind of be mixed in and not just be all the basil, then all the sage, then all the lemon, okay? I want it to kind of be mixed in. So if you see, I'm just going to kind of like rip off some of these leaves here and leave the smaller leaves on there. I'm gonna rip off the larger leaves, okay, and leave the smaller leaves on there. And I'm gonna take like these two to kind of make like the two ends. And this probably won't be very thick because I didn't cut off a whole lot, but it can be as thick or as thin as you want it to be. Okay, now next to this small stick here, I'm going to put some rosemary, and they don't have to be exactly the same length. It can also be as short or as long as you want it to be. If you want to, when you're done, you can trim the ends to make it the same length, but when it dries out, it's all gonna kind of shrivel anyway, so don't forget that part, okay? So I'm gonna put just kind of, with my hands, I'm just kind of holding these pieces together. Now I'm going to take, gonna break this mint. Well, I'm gonna cut it in half. This is, that smells really, really good. Put a strip of mint in there. Then I'm gonna take some of these larger sage leaves and just kind of lay them here. Doesn't really matter how, because you're gonna like string them all together, okay? Then I'm gonna take a little, I have 2 little branches of lemon. I'm gonna lay a branch of lemon. I think this one may actually end up being pretty thick, okay? And then I'm gonna put a branch of lavender here. And I'm gonna go back again. One of this here, right? Yeah, that stays there. I'm gonna go back again with some more sage leaves and just kind of line them down the row here. Line them down the row here. Okay, and then I'm gonna take another stick of rosemary. I think I said basil a while ago. It's not basil, rosemary. Put that there. It's looking pretty thick and nice. Then I'm gonna take some more lavender. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and incorporate those dried leaves that I had. Let's actually put those in before I put the lavender in. They might crinkle a little bit, but if I put some of the fresh plants over it, then it might, you know, stay within the bundle after I tie it up, okay? So let's give that a try. Remember, you don't want to take the stems out. You want to leave those in there because those burn nice and slow. The leaves tend to burn a little bit faster, but I'm kind of just pressing it down a little, trying to keep it together somehow. Lemon balm. That's what it's called. I knew it would come to me. Lemon balm. Oh, goodness. Okay. Put some more. Is this going to be really thick? Maybe I got too much. But I like really, that would be cool. Really, really huge, like, sage bundle. The ones I get, like, the ones you buy online or, like, at the store, they're not ever, like, huge or anything. Okay, so we still have a little, here, let's cut this in half. A couple of mint twigs. Maybe we could kind of use those as like the outside, like put one up and one down. Okay, this is turning into quite the bundle here. Got a little bit more lemon. Now I'm just kind of throwing stuff on here, guys. Just like throw it in, throw it on. Okay, all right. And then the last layer I'm putting is like a last final layer of sage. All right, now I'm going to take my hemp twine rope stuff here and I'm going to take off, well, I guess that's how much I'm taking off. And I'm just going to take it and kind of lift it and put it on top of the robe. You see it's kind of like falling apart. That's okay. And at the very, very bottom, like where everything is kind of coming together, I'm going to do a knot. So I'm just doing a knot to kind of tie everything together at the bottom. And I'm going to double knot it. And if it's kind of starts falling apart, that's okay. All you have to do is kind of just mush it back together as you start winding it back up, okay? Just kind of push it in there together like that, okay? Now I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna take this string and you wanna kind of do like candy cane stripe down the bundle, okay? So this is the hardest part, is just getting this first layer of string on there to hold it together. If you can see, just kind of like candy caning it down the bundle. All right, Okay. And then I'm gonna turn it, I'm gonna go all the way to the end, actually. Then I'm gonna turn it around and candy cane it back the other way, and it's kinda gonna make X's across what we already did, okay? It's gonna make X's across what we already did. Then I'm gonna take this, and there's a little bit of leftover string at the end from that first knot that I tied. So I'm going to tie that together really, really tight. I'm gonna double, triple knot it, okay? And I'm gonna trim off one side of the extra. And then you're gonna see, I'm gonna trim off a couple of these stems here. I'm gonna kind of squeeze it together. Okay, it's kind of long. It's not as skinny as I thought it was gonna be. And then I'm gonna take this whole bundle, and with this excess string, you wanna make sure that you leave a little bit of excess string. And what I do is I hang it upside down in a dry, dark place. So I like to hang it inside of my closet, upside down. You want to let it dry until all of the leaves are completely dry. None of the leaves can still be green or have any kind of greenery on them whatsoever, because if they do, it will not burn. All right, so however long it takes for it to dry completely, let me shove. Some of these are kind of coming out, so I'm just going to kind of shove some of them back in place or underneath a string. Just kind of shove them under a string, and when they dry, they'll kind of like stay together a little better. Okay, so I have a few crumbs here. All right, so I'm going to hang it upside down just like this, and when I burn this with all the different herbs and the sage, it's going to smell amazing. It already does, actually. It smells really, really good, so I'm super excited to get this hung and burn it, okay? So that is pretty much how you make your own DIY sage bundle to burn and cleanse your house with. The one thing that I forgot to mention, and I think that this is very important, when you are cutting your plants, I like to thank my herbs for allowing me to cut them and use them in such a way to be able to cleanse my house with them. You know, plants are known to grow much better and to be able to hear what you're saying, and if you speak positively to your plants and thank them and thank Mother Earth for giving you this blessing to be able to sage your home. So that is all I have today on making your own DIY sage bundle. If you have made your own, or you have any tips or tricks that you would like to share, please comment down below. I would love to hear if you've made your own. If you like this video and you would like to see more like it, please comment down below, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that post bell and notification. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, love and light, and happy soul searching.